You like watching people get fucked for free? Watch me fuck up Mark Kerr for free.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
The Rock. You know him, I know him. He's easily one of the most famous people in the world. He has his own companies, his own brand, and has starred in dozens and dozens of movies. But there's one thing about Dwayne Johnson that just about everyone can agree on, and that's the fact that he mostly plays the same character in nearly every film he's in, at least for the past 2 decades at least. Sure, he could be more jokey or more serious, but that's about it. At the end of the day, the characters he plays are mostly identical. And I honestly think that other wrestlers turned actors like Batista and John Cena are actually a bit better, especially Batista for really trying to branch out and try different roles. With Cena and Batista, they could have stuck to the I'm a badass action role, but they definitely experimented a lot more. While The Rock, on the other hand, has basically mastered this typecasting that he's been stuck in for past like 15 years. The meme of him wearing a beige shirt and basically being the same character in every movie has become more and more true with every passing year. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the guy. He was my favorite wrestler growing up, and he's always entertaining and charismatic. But as for his acting range, it's mostly non-existent, so I was just as surprised as everyone else when I heard he was going to star in an A24 movie by one of the writers/directors of Good Time and the anxiety-inducing Uncut Gems.
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
So my interest was piqued. Then I heard what the movie was, and that's The Smashing Machine, the story of MMA legend Mark Kerr. And if you know who Mark Kerr is, or seen the documentary from 2002 with the same name, then you know this will be one huge task for The Rock. He's actually going to have to try in this movie. Interesting enough, while doing research for this video, nearly 6 years ago, after weigh-ins for UFC 244, The Rock actually announced this movie, but it didn't really grab much attention. Hell, even the crowd barely reacted.
We're gonna make a film about the life of one of your founding fathers, the pioneering founding fathers, the smashing machine, Mark Kerr.
So this movie's been in production for quite a while. It really wasn't until this past year when people actually started talking about it, when it was announced that Emily Blunt was going to co-star in it, along with MMA fighter Ryan Bader as Mark Coleman, as well as Boss Rutan even having a role. But once we got some images, that's when people actually started talking. And I gotta admit, I was impressed by how good The Rock looked.
But not in a gay way or anything.
No, of course not.
Yeah, it goes without saying.
For starters, the physical size is just spot on. And they also did a great job covering up The Rock's tattoos and putting on Kerr's. Not to mention, the wig actually looks pretty damn solid. And I don't know how, but the makeup department did a great job at making The Rock's face look just like Kerr's. So I was optimistic, and then we finally got a trailer, and no lie, I'm very much excited for it. The life of Mark Kerr isn't going to be a very happy one, so this really will test The Rock's acting abilities in a way that he's never done before. Hell, just from watching the trailer, you can tell that he's even trying to change his dialect to not sound like himself, and actually sound like Mark Kerr. The trailer looks so good, Matt Serra was just speechless when he saw it.
I think I'm emotional.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why.
You know the guy, so...
I think I'm a big pussy at this.
What really surprised me is that these shots look like they're right out of Pride FC. It was so good that I actually thought they used real footage. But come to find out, they definitely did recreate the look for the movie. Boss Rutan talked to Matt Serra about how the director wanted to capture the look and feel of Pride, and the attention to detail that went into it. They went out of the way to track down the same type of cameras they used for the walkouts and the actual fights, as well as recreate the lighting in the Tokyo Dome, just to get that same look and feel that Pride FC had. Boss even said that on set they had Japanese vehicles and signage all over, so the amount of detail going into this is going to be top notch, without a doubt. Even the glimpse of UFC 14 looks pretty damn good. Boss Rutan said that the director saw the Smash Machine documentary and wanted to tell this story for years, and that Boss was actually one of the first people he reached out to get on board when he was finally able to make it. It's very clear that he's very passionate about this project and telling this story. So just from hearing all this and looking at the director's previous works, I trust that it's going to be a very well made and good looking movie. But a lot of it is going to be riding on The Rock here, because this is a story worth telling, and he's going to have to pull from a whole bunch of range of emotions to really pull off those dramatic moments. I think that this will definitely be a role worth mentioning in the future for one of two reasons. Either The Rock blows everyone away with his performance, or he bombs and fumbles it and gets mocked by those who thinks he can't act anyway. But regardless, he's going to have to try, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But just based on the trailer, I think he's going to do pretty damn well. But that's all I really have to say. It's coming out later this year, and I'm really excited for it. Probably my most anticipated movie now, and this could honestly be a really fantastic movie and blow everybody away, or it could be the most embarrassing and biggest fumble of The Rock's career. I hope it's the former than the latter, but regardless, I'm going to be there seeing it. I have seen people say that this might be the MMA equivalent to like Rocky. You know, that go-to movie that like every fan just likes. For MMA fans, there's not many to choose from. Arguably the best one is Warrior, and a lot of people flip-flop on whether they like it or not because it does focus a lot on like the family drama, but the actual fighting is also really good. But if you don't like the family drama, then you think that's very melodramatic, so it's a whole thing. So maybe this one might be the Rocky for MMA sports movies. That's some pretty big shoes to fill, but I mean, it's a possible contender, just based on what I've seen so far. Though I don't think it'll be able to dethrone the classic Here Comes the Boom. it. Yeah, so I don't got shit else to say, so see ya.
Off is the direction you can fuck.
It's got a gun!